Right, welcome to part 2 of me struggling to get a Raspberry Pi and a camera to work. It's here. Alright, so first thing we need to do is, from what I understand, now don't trust me on this because I'm completely new to this, I googled Raspberry Pi software and Google led me to this page here. Which is Raspberry Pi OS, and if you scroll down you can install a Raspberry Pi image using Raspberry Pi Imager. So I'm going to download it for Windows because that's what operating system I use. You might use something else. I've already done this step. I don't know if it works or not. So I'm going to install that. It's going to say that I've already installed it probably, and we're going to run it, and then we can choose an operating system. So I'm going to go with the one that says recommended. Choose an SD card. Ah, bollocks. Alright, I've got to open the SD card, and I didn't order one that was in frustration-free packaging, so this might take a while. Out of interest, I'm using a 64GB SanDisk Extreme Pro. I thought I'd buy the fastest SD card that I could find to be on the safe side. Excellent, we can open it. Alright, going to stick the SD card in there. Pop that into my card reader. Windows should go, oh, you've got a card. Or not. Choose SD card. And now the page appears to have been frozen. Close that down. I've already done that bit, and it doesn't work. Right, so that didn't work. I'm going to try opening it again. Choose my OS again. Choose my SD card. There we go. There it is. It's now appeared. Write it to that. Yes. No. I want to say yes to that. It's writing the drive all. This might take a while. 3%, 4%, 5%. I'll speed this bit up. It's nearly done. Nearly done. Finalising. I can now remove my card. Excellent stuff. I guess I can close that now. Okay, right, so that is that. That is now, operating system is stored on this. Right. Put the camera bit together and see what we need to do there. Okay, so I have my Raspberry Pi. I have my Raspberry Pi camera. I am going to swap over the ribbon cables. Everything's probably not going to be in focus because for some reason the Nikon P1000 didn't want to autofocus. So let's remove this cable, pop that there, and then we're going to use this cable, which is, this end goes into here, I believe. Pop that closed. And then this end, I'm going to guess that it goes down because that's where the contacts will be, and then pop that closed. So we now have a Raspberry Pi and a camera assembled together. I have a heatsink which I'm going to put on. And I'm going to stick it on this chip here. Make sure it's straight. There we go. Right, so we now have Raspberry Pi camera. I've lost my SD card. I'll pop the SD card into here. And then we can connect some power, a mouse, etc. and the HDMI. So let's give that a go. Alright, so I forgot to press record, but I have put the SD card into the Raspberry Pi, which is now dangling on the floor. Not sure if that's going to be any good for it. We're capturing its output. I've plugged in a mouse. I don't have a keyboard handy to be able to plug in a keyboard. Oh, look, but we're getting stuff. I'll drink some beer. I had to unplug the camera because everything kept on falling over. I'm going to have to go and track down a longer USB lead. I'll probably fast forward this bit as well. Oh, screen's gone blank. It said something, I didn't catch what it said. Did anybody catch what it said? If I get a desktop screen, I'll be happy to start with. The limit to my computer knowledge is pretty much installing Windows and building a computer out of bits of crap. The light's still flashing, that's a good sign. This is very terrifying. What's it doing? Is it doing anything? I don't know. There's nothing flashing on the screen. Oh, hang on. No, look, I've got a mouse pointer. Welcome to Raspberry Pi desktop. Before you start using it, there are a few set up. Right, next. Where am I? United Kingdom, British, time zone, London. I don't want a password. This screen shows black border on a desktop. Next. Searching for networks. Now I don't know if this has got Wi-Fi. I would presume it has. I didn't really bother looking at the specs too much. Oh, it's found Wi-Fi. I need a keyboard. I'm going to unplug the keyboard from there. I hope that hasn't killed anything. Plug that in there. Oh yeah, I've got a wireless keyboard connected. Will it connect to the network? Got an itchy head. I don't think numlock was on. so it didn't pick up a couple of letters of my password, which you're all probably going to be able to hack now, aren't you? I'm going to pour out some more Stormtrooper. Yeah, it failed to connect. Right, let's pour out some more Stormtrooper in a minute, and we'll try that next. Let's see if it does it now while I pour out some more Stormtrooper. If you want to buy some Stormtrooper, I will leave a link in the description below for an Amazon link. If there is still any, it's quite expensive. It's like £4 a bottle compared to the £2.50 of proper Trooper. Right, software updates, you see next to that. It's synchronizing a clock. I was reading that list, please, one patiently. I was doing more stuff. Oh, I don't know what to do. I'll just show you this, I won't read it because it's probably a word that YouTube will ban, and I'm probably showing you all my cards there. Thanks Cash, that's my buddy Cash that I work with, sending me obscenities. What a lovely man he is. I'll leave a link to his Facebook page down there so you can abuse him maybe. This is taking for fucking ever. Well, I'm glad that the anti-grav hasn't failed, because that could be terrible news, because I could end up in the ceiling or the Raspberry Pi. Well, I don't know what to do after I've done this anyway. I've not really bothered looking. I'm just making this up as I go along. I got as far as buying a Pi, installing an operating system on it, kind of, buying a camera for the Pi, buying some lenses, and that was about my plan. It kind of stopped there. I have done a little bit of research. There are a couple of ways I can use my Raspberry Pi camera thing if it ever works. Apparently I can use it as a webcam, or I can use it as a Raspberry Pi with a camera. I am planning on, if Amazon decide to deliver it, which they probably won't now because it's Christmas Eve and they can't be bothered to work for 2 days. And I totally disagree with people not working Christmas Day. I asked if I could work Christmas Day and my boss said no, piss off. So hopefully on the day after Boxing Day, my little 3.5-inch touchscreen will arrive, and then I can use that as an interface. And apparently there's some other software you can install on the SD card to make it think that it's a webcam to plug into a PC or Mac or something, which could be quite interesting to play with as well. It's still, oh for fuck's sake, it's downloading more updates. I can't even stop the screen catch because my mouse is connected to the Raspberry Pi along with my keyboard. So you'll just have to sit here and watch me dribble. I'll probably speed all this crap up anyway. I will smoke a cigarette, which are bad for you apparently. I don't know if it should be this slow. What probably should have been a 10-minute video is probably going to be about 3 hours. Because knowing Virgin Media, the internet has packed up, so that's why it's not downloading bugger all. Oh no, it started downloading something. I hope YouTube don't flag me for saying the word bugger, because that would be terrible. This is taking back in. I thought we saw Windows 10 was pain in the ass. Right, just got bigger on next version. This weekend, first half, get to where we have to go. And people say Christmas cheer, Christmas cheer. I'll take it, just right now. And you need ice cream, maybe twice, that'd be quite fun. No, that's still work. I guess the press is really well on pages. Oh, yeah, that's drinking though. So I'll get the coffee in shop. I wonder if I unplug the thing. I can leave this doing this. I can go do something else. Or we cut that completely. No, I'll cut that completely. Let's try and cut that. Take really tiny. So you can basically. I'll turn that off. Just watch it. If you like leaving it, what's about this? I don't know how the camera works. Maybe bigger. Maybe smaller. Maybe bigger. Maybe small. It's a tiny thing. Oh, that's a deal or something. You got nothing else? Because nothing else to do. So, if you're still watching, my idea behind this building, I'm going to make myself bigger again because you can't see me. Let's make myself that big. So, the idea of me building this is I want an all-sky camera, or a camera that I can have set up permanently to point to the southeast-ish, and I want to take a shot at the same time every night of the night sky. So I was going to say I want to take a shot at midnight for an entire year, so we can have a time lapse of how the stars and planets and comets and UFOs and Brexit all move across the sky. That's my plan. And I'm planning on, once this is all built, I'll power it off of like a USB cable for power, and I'll make a nice little waterproof box for it and stick it on the roof. Back to small me. Still has it. Has a big on screen, didn't I? What can I say? Right, so I was just... Ooh, I've done it again. I clicked on the wrong thing. Click on that one. So I was just perusing the internet and clicked back onto my screen capture software, and I now have a black screen on my Raspberry Pi. So I don't... And the light's still on, so I don't know if that means it's fucked or if it's just doing something. So I don't actually know what to do, apart from look at the green light and see if the green light does anything. See you soon. Oh, fuck, look, I've done it again. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to stop the screen capture, go and have some dinner and leave it to do its shit, get another beer and come back. So I pressed the on and off button, as they say in the IT world, turn it off and on again, and it's doing this. So I don't know if turning it off and on again was the right thing to do. I think I'll title this video as Idiot Tries to Install Raspberry Pi OS. So it's not doing much. Or Idiot Cocks Up Raspberry Pi OS. Or just Idiot. Oh, there's a screen back. I've done that. Oh, I'm going to have to unplug this thing again. Right. Right. I've done all this. I don't want to change the password. I've done that. Next. So I was searching for bloody networks again. I think I've royally cocked this up, haven't I? Let's skip the software update. It's now set up and ready to go. Let's restart it and see if it actually works. You can wait patiently with me while I do that and watch the wonderful... I don't know why I'm pointing there. We get a pretty colour screen. It's pretty coloured. What's he doing? Alright, it's doing that again. It's doing that again. It's doing this again. better not ask to bloody update it again and all that crap. I can wiggle my mouse again. Look, I can wiggle my mouse. I've got that. Oh, I've got a desktop thingy again. Oh, this is getting bloody exciting. It's a bit laggy. Those damn fleas again. Fucking space fleas. Right, okay, so this is Raspberry Pi operating system. Well, I can put a new folder on, sort files, desktop preferences. As you can probably tell, I've never used Raspberry Pi before. But at least it's booted into something. Right, I'm going to reconnect the camera and see if I can get the camera to at least display a camera image. And I'll be back in a bit. I've got to unplug the USB thing. So then I've got to plug it back into my main PC. My hair's getting in my eyes, and I can press the stop recording button. First thing I've noticed about the Raspberry Pi is the mouse is very laggy compared to having a Threadripper. Right, so I have had dinner, I've got myself another beer, and I've plugged the camera back in, and I also raided the space station's many cupboards and storage bins to find a longer USB lead. So we are now back on Raspberry Pi Majiggy. Plug in my mouse and keyboard. I could have raided the space station for another mouse and keyboard to plug in, which may have been easier, but I didn't. Now, what I've seen on the interweb is I click on terminal or something, and I have to enable, no, maybe it's not that one. I click on something, might be that one. Now that's web browser. Accessories. I click on something. Right, so I have replenished the beer. Cheers. I have found a longer USB lead, and I've plugged in shit mouse again, and I've been on the internet and I found this, as Jezza would say. So now I need to enable the camera. So I go to the start menu, preferences, Raspberry Pi configuration. Eventually, hopefully it will load and it won't go tits up. And interfaces, camera enabled. Okay. Then I've got to reboot it. So let's reboot it. It's not rebooting, is it? For fuck's sake. Shut down. Guess we do that. Reboot. Right, so I clicked on reboot and it's rebooting. Alright, so I've rebooted. I've drunk some more beer because that always helps with the brain cells. So now I'm going to attempt to install a camera app. So I'm going to go to the web browser. I'm going to need to use a different mouse, aren't I? So I need a keyboard. So I'll plug that one back in and hopefully There we go. Right, we got the mouse back. I'm going to presume the red web browser should at some point open. There it is. All right, new Chromium tab, or tab, new tab Chromium. And I'm going to type in pi, no, it doesn't let me type nothing. Pi camera app. And hopefully it will do something. It's very laggy. I'm not sure how this is going to perform as a 12 megapixel camera. I just want it to take still pictures, which I can then export from the SD card and put them together as a time lapse or whatever. So hopefully it will be capable of doing that. It's all getting very frustrating. And the internet is bloody slow on it, I presume. I don't know. Well, while I've been waiting for it to do stuff, I've fitted the 2.8mm wide angle lens. Alright, it's done something. It's waiting for something. Why can't it just be like Android, where you can just download an app that's for the camera? That you can then set stuff to do stuff. Right, Pi camera apps on it's supposed to be on GitHub from the chap that I've just watched on the YouTube. GitHub. Why does it say Pi? If I can get this working before Santa comes, that'll be great. If I can't, I may well murder Santa. Now, the internet can't be this slow because the Wi-Fi router is right there. So it has about 2 feet to go. Why has it gone back to saying Pi camera app? This is getting jolly frustrating. I'm beginning to think it's one of those things that I should not have started. And now I've got a blank screen. You can see that because it's recording this as well. In a minute I can see what's going to happen is I'm going to end up spilling beer on the Raspberry Pi. and it will go boom. Lucky they're only about 20 quid. Right, what the hell is it doing? This is the slowest computer I've ever used. Dial-up internet was quicker than this. Jesus Christ. It's your birthday tomorrow, apparently. Painfully slow. Painfully slow. Alright. Right, let's try this page. If it ever opens. I just want to download the fucking thing. Right, yeah. View on GitHub, I guess. So painful. Right, here we go. Right, code. Download zip. Right, it's downloading something. Showing folder. Right, let's right click it, extract to, let's extract it to the desktop so we can find it again. If it lets us. Alright, here we go. Extract files. I guess I click on that. Right, there we go. Select destination, directory, desktop. Open, extract. Okay, Raspberry Pi master. Right, so now apparently I need to do something else which I saw on the internet. Wasn't that, you dirty man? And enable it somehow. So I'll be right back once I've unplugged this and plugged it back into here. I can find my USB socket. Right. Be right back. Okay, right. I have, I think, managed to get the camera working. And I've got this here. in the little corner there. Let's see if we can adjust the focus to get something in focus at least. The lens doesn't appear to do shit at all. Right, well, we've got an image. That's a pretty bokeh. Right, now I'm wondering if I take this lens off and unscrew this, unscrew this back on. Will it let me focus anything? Out of focus. Right, well, we've got an image. That's a good start. Now this apparently you can unscrew. They give you the wrong screwdriver. They didn't give me a screwdriver in the box, did they? I've lost the box. Apparently you can adjust the back focus with this. Oh, I can see we're getting almost into focus. Oh my god. That looks like a focused image on the camera. Just prop that up there. That looks like me. Right, okay. So let's change it to 1920 exposure. Presets, backlight, beach. Right, I can set the ISO, exposure compensation, or let's go to advanced, see if we can adjust the shutter time. Colour. White balance, shutter speed, set shutter speed. Okay, right, so we can possibly have a 30 seconds shutter speed, and we'll take a picture. What will it do? What it's done is frozen the Raspberry Pi, I think. Well, no, it hasn't, because I can still see myself here. Where's the mouse for the Pi gone? Now, is that because I've set a 30-second shutter and it's taking a photo? It can't be. Right, I think I've broken it. Can you do any control delete on thingy? Oh, hang on, I just saw my mouse, I think. Right, I'm going to turn it off and on again. Well, the good news is we've got a camera that works. Right, so I am going to play with this some more and see if I can get anywhere with long exposure, and you can watch that in part 3. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe to see part 3, where hopefully, if it's clear, we will be able to do some astrophotography with the Raspberry Pi thing, and I'll 3D print a case for it.